I think my favorite memory from this week was definitely when we first got stuck on the bus.
When we first got stuck in the river, because I've never experienced anything like that, and it was crazy. I thought I got a leech afterwards.
We all pushed together, we all like experienced like getting stuck together, so I thought that was pretty cool.
Yeah, it really felt like I was in a different country. You've never experienced anything like that in the States.
The one moment that will stand out in my mind is the second night when we were driving to the school where we were going to stay, and the bus driver took us up the hill, and he wasn't supposed to go up the hill, but we did, and then we got stuck. And then they told everyone to get out and to carry their luggage, and we didn't even know where we were going, and they just said, oh, it's really short, just carry your luggage. And I don't think my bag is that heavy, but you know, I've never tried to carry it half a mile uphill. And you know, during that time I was like, oh my goodness, welcome to Bolivia 2011, is this boot camp or what? That is the moment then I was like, you know, dear God, please give me strength. And he did, and I was like, I don't think I can carry this, but I did.
So my favorite memory was when we were leaving Hotel Espejos to the city. And we went through a lot of mud roads.
Riding in the back of a truck with like 15 other people on mud.
And I ended up riding on the side of the car for a good portion of the time, maybe like 30-40 minutes. I was just holding on right next to the passenger door, and it felt really nice. It was really dark, but it was fun just like having the wind across my face and just like looking at, you know, the woods and all that, something I would never be able to do in America.
My favorite memory from this trip was getting stranded in the mountains and having to walk 7 miles, yes, 7 miles.
The walk in the mud, the 15-kilometer walk.
The hike through through all that mud.
Me, Kiwan, and Sarah were the only girls who made this entire 7-mile walk. And that was one of my favorite memories.
But what really stands out to me is how everybody kept such a positive attitude during that whole ordeal.
It allowed us to bond and kind of come together and help for one purpose.
For me, it actually was a way for me to learn something about God. Even though we were like, you know, in the dark and we were just walking through mud and we had no idea where we were going, I figured out that God really has the ability to give peace.
That was a time when we really needed God, and it was because of those difficult times that we were able to pray to God and see how He answers our prayers and pulls miracles for us. So if it hadn't been for adversity, then we would never see how God can work in our lives.
So my favorite memory on this trip was just work with everyone that came on this trip and with the students. And it's only been like 10 days, but we all became really good friends and we work really well together.
I really enjoyed getting to know the students at the school, all the Bolivians and Argentinians. It was kind of fun actually, like trying to communicate with each other in broken English and broken Spanish.
I learned a lot from the students here. The students that Joe and his family are hosting, I guess, and teaching them to become missionaries. Because not so much in like what they taught me, but what I saw in them. A lot of them were just really kind and passionate and willing to serve God.
To be around people who want the same things out of life and who love the same God, no matter the culture or the person or the background or the race.
My favorite memory on this trip has been the numerous bus rides going to and from our sites. We're all stuck in a small space and the conversation going on is interesting. Just the fellowship that goes on, that was really nice.
I think not my favorite, but a very memorable one was so I did optometry here, but one day optometry was slow, so I decided to visit dentistry. And so I was helping Jane and Christine out with the patient that was going to, and they were going to do extraction on this patient. Her tooth was all cut up and everything, she was bleeding. It was awesome. And then Jane was about to extract, and then instead of her extracting, she called Teo. So Teo was about to extract it, right? And I got so excited. But then Joey called me and told me I had to go back to optometry. And I was pretty sad.
My favorite memory was working at the clinic and helping people out. That was my favorite memory because like while I was working, like my brain, it just stopped functioning, and then I just did what I had to do, and then I realized that it was cool.
My favorite memory? I found somebody that knows how to play handball.
Who?
Vivian.
Oh, I was the handball champion in elementary school.
Handball? Isn't that what Mexicans play? Handball? Isn't that what Mexicans play?
Yeah, it's very rare to find someone that knows how to play handball.
Favorite memory? It was the day that we came back to the hotel at night, and it was late, and we thought we weren't gonna get any dinner. And then Anita said, "Who wants kimchi noodles?" And everyone was like, "Kimchi noodles?"
My favorite memory was talking to Pastor Judy after worship, when we would just talk one-on-one about our relationships with God and what we're going through. That really helped me a lot, get a lot closer to Him. I'm really glad we have Pastor Judy here at our church.
Lead me with strong hands.
I feel that God has taught me this week is that God is very, very big and I'm very, very small.
I learned once again that God works in big ways and in small ways, and that you pray and you have faith, you no longer have fear, and the moment you stop, your fear comes back. Like from this trip, I realized that if we pray and like work together and like as a family, we can get through things.
God has taught me to be more patient because my patience was tested like multiple times throughout the week.
Doing things that make you uncomfortable, if it's for God's work, is very rewarding and better than sitting at home doing nothing.
We have lives really well in the United States. It's been tough here. There's been some things we had to go through. So what Joey was telling us to adapt, that was very. And God showed me like that we do have it good. The people here are so thankful for the little things we're doing. They're appreciated so much. They're really touched.
Something that God has taught me on this trip is that He always provides, so we don't need to worry.
I was like one of the people who helped Joey plan this trip from like months and months ago. And we had done a lot of planning and a lot of effort to make sure that everything went smoothly on this trip. And then once we came on the trip, everything fell apart. And it was short of disastrous, I would say. It was so disorganized. Everything was changing day by day, and it just seemed like nothing was going on.
We have all these plans, but we had meetings, we had so many meetings, and every day it was like something else happened. You know, the bus got stuck, we had to, I rode, but people had to push the bus through water, and all these things, crazy things happened, and through all of that, you know, I know that God is working. Even though for me it was hard because I'm used to having like a luxurious, easy life, but I know that as long as we put everything on God and just He has so plans for us.
This trip has taught me more about God than something God has taught me. I think I got a lot closer to Him, and I started to pray a lot more than I used to, and I just like being in constant contact with Him.
here we could experience all this spiritual high, but when we get back home, I believe that's when the real test starts.
I look around and see my wonderful life, almost perfect from the outside. In picture frames, I see my beautiful wife, always smiling, but on the inside